We are back! Today we're talking about fear of promotion. Do you deserve it? Should you get it? I guess we'll find out. See you in a minute. All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. As always, I am Bill Jones, head instructor of top-level martial arts in beautiful downtown Cuyahoga Falls. With me, my friend, my chum, my compadre, slightly above novice in all things, Mr. Edward Whitney. How you doing?
Doing great, man. How are you?
I can't complain, dude.
You sound a lot better than last week.
Yeah, last week I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, you had the pneumonias.
It's okay. You were getting defrauded. I was.
Yeah.
It was just a great week for everybody.
Week has improved, hasn't it?
Nice.
It's a much better week this week.
Yeah, way better, way better. I'm trying to think of where to go here and how I want to say this. Do you get everything straightened out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get, like, I don't want to give away all your personal
thanks, man. I appreciate it.
But, like, you came in the other day, you're like, finally. Like,
yeah, yesterday I was like, thank
God.
God.
Pay you in the butt, man.
Yeah, it was...
Hey, listen, if you're going to steal somebody's money, don't.
Yeah. Don't.
That's just don't. It's not nice.
Yeah.
It's rude.
It's very
inappropriate.
rude.
Go make your own damn money.
Yeah. I don't have much to steal either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, I don't even mind helping you out. Ask somebody for help or something, but don't take it from somebody else.
Yep. Turns out if you're a decent person, your friends will probably help you.
Yeah, it's messed up. All right, so
enough of the negative stuff.
A lot of stuff that's let's address something right off the bat. We had a terrible school shooting go on. Our hearts go out to anybody involved in that, and we just hope that everybody's doing well. If you're watching this and you can afford, the prayers are nice, but quite honestly, these people are going to need help. They're going to need psychological evaluations. The school's going to need money for repairs. There's all kinds of things that are going on. So donate to some cause that you like that will help the victims. And
a trusted charity.
Yeah, that is doing something for this, and kind of go from there. If it's in your heart to do that, that would be my recommendation. Tough. Yeah, and we don't want to spend all day bringing everybody down, but terrible doesn't even really describe what happened in that situation. So, to anybody who was a hero in that, thank you. To everybody who survived, I'm really sorry for what you're going through, and to the families who've lost people. There's no words I can really give other than my condolences.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's
so
tough, man.
Let's keep moving though. Let's bring the mood back up. We got a lot to talk about on the plate today. We're going to talk about UFC, the upcoming UFC.
The one that just happened.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Black Panther.
Oh yeah.
And
I hear great things about that movie.
Yeah, it's really good. And then we're going to move on to to kind of talking about the topic of the day, which is promotions, right? Like everybody's afraid of getting promoted.
Yeah.
All right. So what's up first, man? What's going on in the UFs?
In the UFs?
Yeah.
I like it. So one of my personal favorite fighters, Cowboy Cerrone. You ever heard of this guy?
Yeah, you've talked about him before.
Yeah, finally got back in the win column. Won with a knockout against Yancy Medeiros.
Okay.
So that was a great fight. They're both ranked, so it was nice
so
to
this
see.
already happened?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about it because everybody loves Cowboy.
Okay.
He's just that kind of guy. Everybody's a huge fan. I was pretty excited to see him get back in the win column. And I also want to talk about a kid that I think he was the first fight on the main card or second fight. His nickname is Curtis Millender.
Okay.
Kid looked amazing. I'm not sure what his grappling's like yet because they didn't really spend a lot of time on the ground. But the kid looked amazing, so that's a name for people to watch.
Okay.
And his nickname's Courteous. How can you not like that?
How can you not?
How can you not like a kid?
Must be a nice guy.
Yeah, he could have been, the destroyer, the mutilator. He's like, I'm going to go with Courteous.
That's nice.
Yeah, so fan of that kid.
Hold on 1 second. You have like this. I don't know if it's like your.
Is a rogue eyelash?
I think it just fell. Here, hold on, look up. Like, okay, it's gone now.
All right.
It was driving me fucking insane. It was like attacking me.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first
it was like
time.
a Medusa snake coming out. I thought I was going to turn to stone. We may or may not cut that out.
Nah, let's not.
Okay.
The people like that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The peeps like it. For anybody who's maybe listening to the podcast and not watching the podcast on YouTube, Edward had an eyebrow, and I don't think it was his. I think it was like a wife's hair or something.
Could be.
But it was stuck in his eyebrow, and it looked like a Medusa snake just like coming at my face.
Yeah, well.
And that's all I could stare at. And I could see him like scratching his head because he's probably wondering what the hell.
Well, you see me like trying to fix my ear. My hair. I'm like, what is this guy looking at?
I'll say this: if I'm ever like looking at you like that, it's probably not your ear that needs fixed.
Well, that's always my concern.
Like I'm looking at you, I'm like, why is that guy's ear like that? Fix that ear, man.
Yeah. But
anyway.
The main thing I wanted to talk about was UFC 222, which has not happened yet. That's coming up.
Okay.
But our boy T-City is fighting Frankie Edgar.
Nice.
Major fight.
Man.
Yeah. Dude, I think he has a chance.
I mean, he's
got that range. He's got that strangle, man. I mean, Frankie Edgar's never been finished.
Yeah.
And some of the wars that guy's been in, it would be amazing if he finished him. But I think he has a legit chance.
So who's the champ of that division?
Oh, let's see. That might be Connor.
What division is that?
They're either 145 or 155.
Well,
Frankie bounces around. I'm not sure.
Google. We'll ask the Google.
Yeah, if I know which weight class it is, I can tell you the champion.
Okay, Google. What weight class is T-City in?
Here are some results from the web. By the way, he is turning 27 today.
Oh, happy birthday, T-City!
Nice.
Google coming through. How
Nice.
about that? That's awesome.
That is awesome.
By the way, it says he's turning 27 today. How's that?
Yeah.
Dude, you say it all the time. We live in the future, man.
We do.
Let me see here.
Yeah, but like I said, he's either 145, 155, right in that range.
He is 145.
Okay, so that would be Max Holloway
Yeah.
is the current champion. That's the one that Connor vacated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah, tiny guys.
How about that? Gracie Jiu-Jitsu guy coming up for a shot at the title against a Pedro Sauer guy who's already holding the title.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, who do you root for in that? Jiu-Jitsu, that's who you root for.
Yeah. I think if Max Holloway and T-City fight, I would give the edge to Max Holloway because of the striking advantage.
Okay.
And he has really underrated jiu-jitsu. Like, I think he's good enough to survive on the ground,
Okay.
get back up, and I feel like he's a far superior striker.
Oh, that's pretty awesome, then.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to him. And
Rooting for Brian Ortega.
Hope he comes through with the W. Who else is fighting?
Cyborg's fighting.
Oh.
Yeah. She's fighting some girl, and I felt so bad because I looked it up on the computer to get her name. And on the main event on the UFC website, they got a picture of Cyborg, and then the infamous shadow picture of this girl where they don't even have a picture of her.
This is for the main event?
Yes.
They're letting Cyborg fight in a main event.
Against a girl who doesn't even have her picture on the website. Her name is...
That is terrible.
You know I know most of the fighters. This girl's name is Yana Kunskaya, and I have never heard of her. I don't know where she came from, what she did before this. She may be awesome.
And I realize, like, I'll give them a little bit of leeway because I know how difficult it is. They're still building the women's division. Like, yeah, it's been around for a few years, but...
And she's
like,
big.
Yeah,
it's tough to find women
Cyborg's
her
in the
size.
heavyweight division, right, for women.
Well, yeah, the
women's
biggest women's division we have.
And you know, so it's tough.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll give them that. But I mean, at least get a picture of this.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
You know,
main event fight, you don't have a picture of the girl on your website.
Yeah.
It's just, like I said, the infamous shadow.
You know, I learned something about the UFC, and I'm bringing it up because it's something we've talked about in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that the main pay for a UFC fighter to show is $12K?
Yep.
And they get $12K to win?
Yep.
That's actually more than what I expected.
Yeah, see, that, and this is the one point I never brought up, but I should have, is that they do a good job of paying the lower level fighters. Do you know what I mean? Like, the main event guys aren't making as much as they probably should, but the lower guys are making, you fight three times a year.
I mean, it's tough.
I'm
three
with
times
you.
a year gets you a
pretty decent living if you win
salary.
2 of them,
Yeah, if you win 2 of them, and if you, and then on top of that, you get Reebok sponsorship money, a minimum of $5,000.
Is that what it is now? $5,000 now? That's a little
everything
better
I saw, because I did a little research into this. We'll go back to that. Who is that lady? She would be so happy to hear me say it that way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for saying research.
Research.
It's research. We all know it.
Yes.
Stop it, lady.
Remember,
But anyway.
the 2 pronunciations both said re.
I was telling my wife about that. I was like, I tried to kind of play it off in there, but they really did both sound like it went research.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't sound different, computer.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's apparently a $1.6 billion lawsuit against the UFC.
Okay.
For how they're paying their fighters and stuff, and it goes clear back to like, and I apologize, I forgot. This is the one. Remember, I said I had something that I wanted to talk about. I couldn't remember what it was, and this is the one.
Okay.
But it goes back like several years, like back into 2010 through 2015 or something.
That makes sense.
And basically, they're just trying to get these fighters some back money and stuff like that. But I honestly don't foresee it going anywhere. I see it probably getting settled out of court. Them saying, "Look, we'll give each of you $10K, go away." Yeah. And that's probably what's going to happen. Yeah. Because there's no way they're going to pay $1.6 billion.
No.
And quite honestly, if you win that, that's a tort lawsuit, so that gets treble damages, meaning like that 1.6 turns into whatever 1.6 times 3 is, 4.8.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
4.8.
So, like, there's no way they're going to pay out 4.8B.
Yeah, especially since they just spent that to buy it.
Yeah. So, well, Zuffa is who would get sued. It wouldn't be the new.
The lawsuit wouldn't transfer over to new ownership. Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, you'd think that like companies would, being a company doesn't protect you the way people think it does.
No, it doesn't.
So anyway,
I've experienced that personally.
Yeah, there's no way that Zuffa's going to give away everything they just earned. And I think that's like the goal is for these fighters to try to stick it to the man. And I get it. You didn't get paid well enough, but you don't deserve every dime that they made either. Sorry to tell you that.
Yeah. You guys need each other.
Yeah. You worked for them and with them, but that doesn't mean you deserve every dollar that they got.
Yeah.
But hopefully it turns out and these guys get some money back. We got a few local guys that would, I think, be getting something out of that too in the Cleveland area.
Yeah. We sure do.
So I hope it turns out decent in their favor and they get some extra scratch.
Nice little check in the mail.
Yeah.
Put some smiles on some faces.
Get 10, 15, 20 G's.
Yeah, that would make anybody's day.
That'll put a smile on your face.
Yep.
But yeah, so anyway, I don't know where that came from.
No.
I think I was reading it yesterday or the day before or something. But I was actually surprised that they paid more than what I thought they did because I think this comes from back in that time. I think it was like $3-4K is all you get. Yeah. Like you'd go in there, win a fight, and it's $4K.
Well, you think about the first half dozen or so, you didn't get paid unless you won the whole thing.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's a little different.
Yeah, I know, but
that was a completely different format.
Yeah,
there were no rules then.
I just want people to recognize that although it's very flawed currently,
it's better than it was.
25 years ago, you could not make money from martial arts unless you were like a boxer or fighting Muay Thai in Thailand. You know what I mean?
And even then.
Yeah.
I mean, boxers made decent money.
Boxers made a lot of money, yeah.
But like, you weren't making... In any other sport, you weren't making that kind of money.
No.
Kickboxing, Muay Thai,
no. It just didn't exist.
All right. So, one thing that we did have, and I'm going to butcher his name. Oh, wait, no, you have one other person here.
Oh yeah, Stefan Struve's fighting Andre Arlovski on that card.
Okay.
With T-City and Cyborg. Just to kind of.
So this is a pretty decent card coming up then.
It's decent.
I mean, to me, the Edgar and T-City, that's like.
That's the main event for me.
But I mean, that's probably just because we're jiu-jitsu guys.
Yeah.
We want to see T-City choke somebody.
Yeah, and Frankie Edgar's the other type of jiu-jitsu, more like your jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Get on top of them.
And beat them down.
Yep. Just keep smushing them.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting to see because T-City has a little bit more of a. I don't know if modern's the right word, but like he'll do a flying triangle.
Oh yeah.
Old school jiu-jitsu.
That guillotine he hit where the guy was still standing up and he managed to switch. I think it was from an arm in to an arm out or no arm guillotine to an arm in guillotine while holding onto the guy's neck in the air. It was incredible. I don't know if you've seen that yet, but it is
I have not
amazing.
Seen it. Let's pull it up. Let's look at it.
All right.
So.
Yeah, I'll make it quick. But yeah, just the way he...
Will it be on YouTube?
Yes, most likely. The way he transitioned, though. I've never seen anybody do that.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
So we're currently using the Google machine to pull up the T-City choking out. Who was it?
I can't remember who it was.
Hey,
Cub Swanson, that's right.
Cub Swanson.
I think they're going to show it.
All right, so this is the announcement. They're probably going to go back to the replay here.
Yep.
In a second.
Oh, come on.
Fight Night 123, you guys already saw it. I don't have much else.
So this looks like it's the Gracie breakdown of it.
And, just thank you guys so much.
I don't need your thanks. I mean, good job.
I like him better when he wins.
I was hoping they would actually break it down.
We did what we had to do.
Okay, here it goes.
I tied it up, got the anaconda, and then we got standing, fell to the ground.
Oh, this is the end of round 1. So he actually choked him twice. He got saved by the bell right there.
All of a sudden, I heard the clack, clack, clack. I was like, oh, there's 10 seconds left. I was like, and I squeezed hard, and I was counting. Jiu-Jitsu 6 to 10 seconds.
That's an average person, though. But this guy's, top class.
So I was squeezing, and then I was like, should I burn my arms out or just chill for the second round and hopefully he makes the same mistake again?
Now, I'll point out that if we can, if my technical skills allow, I will try to take this video and put it on this background. So if that's happening right now,
It worked.
Me.
Yeah, it works.
If you're watching this like behind us, like going on, that's going to be amazing.
Yes.
If not, I'm sorry.
We're working on it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, second round.
If it still says black belt tips right here,
It was a
sorry.
fail.
Arms out, we got to the corner. We do second round. He's going to do it again. I made the clinch happen again, and then from there, single leg to choke, and then we finish.
Yeah, that was, listen, there are guillotines.
they're just showing a
There was
picture
what
of it.
you guys
Probably
witnessed right
UFC
Yeah.
stuff.
They probably took down all the videos.
Brian, oh, here it is. Here it is. Oh, we've got to have this lobster mania.
We got a commercial.
God, I'm going to put that in there too.
We got to edit that out.
Sponsored by Lobster Mania.
Back to the Daily Grind. Thanks for checking out the channel.
That's not your
Make sure
video.
you subscribe
I
if
don't
you're
know
new.
what that is.
We'll edit that guy out. But anyways, it was a guillotine. The
What
guy
was
standing.
that? You seem to know what that was coming up.
That's just some guy's MMA show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't want to give him pub.
Oh, well, that's
I don't know his name.
Daily Grind. Watch
Yep.
it. I'm sure it's great.
It's pretty okay. I watch it. It's pretty okay.
Of course you do.
Yeah. But, yeah, like I said, it was just a standing guillotine. Jumped to guard, but the guy didn't fall down. And then he readjusted while he still had his locked up standing. And like I said, I believe he had no arm and then reached around to an arm-in guillotine and then finished it.
That's pretty cool.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
He's a high-level finisher, that's for sure.
He's a good guy. He's extremely good at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And he's training with two of the best in the world. So,
He is.
there you go. So anyway,
Speaking of jiu-jitsu,
speaking of jiu-jitsu.
I want to talk about that rash guard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know, what was it, about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago?
Yeah, it's been a few months.
And I wanted to actually wear it so I could give a legitimate review.
Yeah, so what's going on here, for a little background, is a buddy of ours in Cleveland owns this company, and I'm going to butcher the name. It looks like Furacao, Furacao. Okay, and I know that I'm butchering the name. We're not sponsored for this, by the way.
No, he just
But
sent us a rash guard and
Yeah,
asked us to review
he was
it.
like, hey, I have these rash guards that I'm doing now, and would you mind trying it out and putting it on the podcast?
Yeah.
So I said, sure. We like to do this kind of stuff,
Love it.
And if you're watching this and you have gear that you want us to review, I'd be happy to do it. And quite honestly, like I've had some people send me gear and it wasn't very good.
Yeah, it was
And so
very,
I'm not going to
very
say
good.
what that gear
Yeah.
was. I'm just saying it wasn't good. And so I was like, you know what? I literally wrote him an email and said, look, I'm not going to bash the shit out of your stuff online. Like that's just not how I am.
Yeah.
So thank you for sending it to us, but you're not going to see a review on this product.
Yeah.
But this was not bad. So
This was not that. And frankly, I've been wearing it for about 2 months. And you know how rash guards start to get those little rolly things on the surface?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it has a tiny bit starting. But, I mean, for the amount of wear,
Yeah.
I think it's holding up pretty good. And I really dig that drawing. I believe it's by an artist. I can't remember the guy's name.
I guarantee you that it is by an artist.
No, but I mean, yeah, like I don't think it was like a stock image. Like
Yeah.
I think it's a very specific image for that rash guard.
Now, the only complaint I do have about it is it doesn't come in double XL.
Ah.
And it is compression fit. So
Yeah.
for anybody who doesn't know, if you're buying rash guards, there's like two fits. There's like your basic fit and then there's compression fit. compression is ultra tight. Like,
Yes.
they're all tight, but like compression's like extra tight.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan of that personally, but I mean that's not a knock on the rash guard as much as what just understanding what you're buying. If you buy
I didn't mind it. That was actually one of the few compression fits that I liked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wear a double X and I couldn't get one for me. That's why you ended up getting one for you.
Yeah,
so.
it like packed my fat into the right places.
Oh, okay.
So I like to wear it under like shirts.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, it's like Spanx for a man.
That's funny. Man.
Yeah.
So, but you give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, I was a huge fan, man.
Okay.
I liked it a lot. Thanks
All
for
right.
sending it to us.
There you go.
Yeah, what was the guy's name?
I don't even want to get. I'll mess up his name. He's from
Okay.
Ukraine. And
Oh, okay.
just look up the company and,
Yep.
and find the rash guard.
Yep, Furakow.
Yeah, FURACAO, right?
Yes, sir. I believe so.
Here,
It's right
hold
there on
this
the
up.
front.
Boom. FURACAO.
Yep.
So I don't know what that means. Should have asked. I didn't.
Yeah.
There you go.
Regardless, it's the name of the company, and it was a quality rash guard, and I believe they were pretty affordable.
Yeah.
Seems to be in like that $39.99 range.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was that low.
Yep.
All right. So anyway,
I was a fan of the rash
check
guard.
them out. Get a rash guard.
Yeah, thank you for sending it to us.
Yeah. So the next one, this is definitely mine. Like you
Yeah.
can look at the list of stuff we're gonna go over, and you know what's Ed's? Like Ed's is always UFC everything.
Yeah,
Like,
or fighting.
I
of
could
any
be like,
kind.
hey Ed, talk about UFC. Oh, you know what? Going back, so Bellator,
Yes.
their minimum is $2,000.
Okay.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
I think you're here for Ed.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It was an ambulance.
Oh yeah.
I
Well,
was gonna say,
that'd
that
be
makes
more
sense.
likely for you. Yeah.
Well, not so much anymore.
So anyway, so the comparison of UFC to Bellator, UFC actually pays way more than Bellator.
Yeah.
The only difference is Bellator, you can do whatever you want with
Sponsorships. Yeah.
And I think I've said before, like I don't like the look of the UFC's stuff, but I understand why they do it. It's what every other professional sport does.
Well,
With the exception maybe of golf.
or soccer, the biggest sport in the world. They do a lot
They
of
all have uniforms.
Yeah, but they all have sponsorships. Like
But they have sponsorships outside.
No. If you look at like major soccer clubs,
Yeah.
they'll have like United Arab Emirates Airlines or whatever is their main logo. They won't even have the logo of like their team on their shirt. It'll be a corporate logo.
Okay, yeah, but that's the whole team being sponsored.
Yeah. I agree.
Like so that's not an individual athlete.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like,
And much like the UFC, the entire
Yeah.
team is sponsored by UFC. I guess
Yes.
that's a viable comparison.
yeah, so the entire team is sponsored by Reebok or whatever.
Yeah.
And do I think it kind of screws them out of some money? Yes.
Yeah.
How much? I don't know. There's
Well,
no way to really know.
Some of the fighters actually produced tax records to prove how much they were losing, and a lot of like Brendan Schaub, who was a middle of the pack heavyweight, lost like $150,000 a fight
Oh wow.
based on what he was getting sponsored. That's why he quit fighting. It just wasn't worth the squeeze anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now he has a podcast.
Yeah,
Taken after us.
yeah.
It's
It's not as good as ours.
Good luck to you, Brendan Schaub.
The guy's kind of a douche.
Crazy kid.
I tried to be his fan. I tried so hard, but man, he says some stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't know. He was like talking about homeless people the other day, and he's like, "Yeah, you're homeless." Like he's basically saying that he doesn't value somebody's opinion because it's like equal to that of a homeless guy, and he just went on this rant about
Like
how
on what? Like
somebody basically was like hating on the YouTube comments,
oh okay.
and he's like, "You're homeless" or something. And I'm just like, homeless guys matter too, man. Just because you're rich doesn't mean they don't matter. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to see it, and it's not just that one thing.
No, I get.
Yeah, it's just relentless.
That's an example.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to be his fan, and I tried because I enjoyed his podcast.
Well,
Yeah,
sorry, Brendan Schaub.
yeah, he makes it tough, man. He does. But let's get back to Black
So you
Panther,
think you
man.
can take him out though?
Brendan Schaub,
Yeah.
ex-UFC heavyweight fighter who's still shredded. I think I could take him out.
That's
yeah,
all
for
I needed
sure.
to hear.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Nah,
Just checking.
Brendan, please don't come down here.
No, come down here. It'll be cool.
Bill wants to fight you.
I'll roll you.
I'll roll him. As
I
long as
mean, you might probably still win. Whatever. You're a pretty tough dude.
he did compete against Cyborg.
Sort
He's
of.
the one that did
Sort
the
of.
Schaub shutdown.
I can compete against Cyborg at the level that he competed against Cyborg.
Just run.
100%. I will call that out. I can run all day from Cyborg.
That's funny.
Yeah, that fight. If you've never seen that fight, Brendan Schaub versus Cyborg.
He calls it the Schaub shutdown.
Oh man, like all he would do is run away.
Yes,
and I'm not exaggerating. Like,
no, he physically ran.
I don't know how to say that any other
ran.
way. Like it wasn't like a strategic run. It was like Cyborg would try to clinch and he'd run away.
Yeah.
Like anyway.
Yeah.
It was bad.
He didn't tap though.
Nope, didn't get tapped.
He survived.
In the same way that Hosier Gracie's never tapped me, or
because they didn't
Hickson's
grapple.
never tapped me
because they didn't really grapple.
because I've never grappled them.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's kind of the same thing.
Kind
of. He didn't get tapped because he didn't grapple him.
Yeah.
Like, that was one of the most embarrassing fights. Jiu-Jitsu matches. I don't necessarily like to call Jiu-Jitsu matches fights. One of the most embarrassing ones of all time.
I see what you're saying. I get it. But at the same time, I also see his point.
I don't, in any way. You're going into a submission-only tournament.
Yes.
Where the way to win the money
is to
submit your opponent. And so you're going to take the stance of, you can't submit me, so I'll just run away?
That's I didn't realize you had to submit to get paid.
Yeah,
I did not
That's
know
like saying, okay...
that changes everything.
I'm
going
to race you in a race car, at the Daytona 500, except I'm not going to show up.
Yeah,
Or
and the
when we
only
get
way
there,
you can get paid
I'm just
is
going to
if
have a
I
horse
finish.
and buggy and say, well, I just, I had a different strategy.
I didn't realize that it affected Cyborg's money. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you had
That's
to finish
different.
it. That's
I
how
didn't know that.
memoirs work.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's very different.
Yeah.
Because Brendan Schaub's kind of rich and Cyborg's not. He probably needed that money.
I don't know anything about Cyborg.
Yeah.
Probably not the same as Brendan, but...
Yeah, he probably wanted that 10K or whatever. He probably needed it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a different spin.
Yeah. Black Panther.
Yeah, get into it, man. I'm waiting to hear your review. You got me hyped up.
Yeah, so first of all, I'll just say this. I spoil everything. Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and do a whole non-spoiler thing and then then try to go back and spoil shit. So if you don't want to know what happens, you need to skip to some other point in this podcast when it doesn't sound like I'm talking about it, because we're gonna move on to fear of promotions here in a minute. But I just wanted to get my take on it, and I thought it was a phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
I think so. I know that, and this is funny because there's a lot of hype surrounding this movie for a number of reasons. One, it's a Marvel movie, and they put out great content. Two, it is an all, I don't know the right word. It's mostly an all-black cast.
Okay.
And, I'm obviously a white dude in America.
No, you're not.
So I, to me, I'm always represented in movies. And it's been a long time since you've seen that kind of cast in a movie. And I would argue since I was a kid for the most part.
Yeah.
Even back in the day when Spike Lee would put together movies, although I don't think that they did a good job of... and it's not up to me. Anyway, I didn't like his movie.
And frankly, all black casts in the past they weren't to the same level.
Yeah, like
this is
in
a
a Spike Lee
mainstream
movie, which was well put together and all that kind of stuff. They were it was always about murders and stuff going on in the hood, right?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what it was about.
Yep.
And I'm sure that's not the only thing he's done. So
yeah,
I'm not trying to bash Spike Lee.
You're trying to
he's certainly more
hype up
successful
Black
than
Panther. You're not trying to put everything else down.
Yeah,
You're trying
I'm
to
just
say
saying
how
that
nice it is.
This is a movie that your everyday kid is going to go to and watch and see, and now they're going to be looking up to black actors and saying, and they're probably not even seeing them in the same way, but the representation is there. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah,
is that it's there and it's there pretty heavily, but it's not done in an in-your-face way.
It's just a great movie.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense for the context of the movie. I mean, they're in Africa. Who else would be there? They're not trying to shoehorn in anybody. If anybody's there, it's for a reason. The women in it are awesome.
Yeah.
You want to talk about making a woman look powerful in a movie. The way that the women in that movie are portrayed is that's how women are in real life. That's how they are.
Oh, really?
They're geniuses and they're good fighters and they're good. You know what I mean? Nobody's a damsel in distress.
Okay.
So there's a lot of things going on in it, and they tackle a lot of social issues that are, and it's done. I gotta say, it's done very well. Like, they talk about immigration in a way, and that makes sense. And the argument
presents both sides?
Yeah, and this is something that Marvel's been doing better at, because the downside of Marvel movies has always been that they do a great job with the hero, but the villain's motivations are always kind of like, hey, I'm going to take over the world for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, but now it's like you've got these villains, like in Spider-Man. You know, it's this blue-collar worker who's stealing this technology from Tony Stark's company, and it's all scraps that they're picking up.
Yeah.
Like, they pick up all the scraps of these alien fights, and they're supposed to give them to Tony Stark's company. And every once in a while, they just keep a few here or there, right, for themselves. And, you know, when Spider-Man confronts him, he's like, what do you think Stark's doing with this technology? He's doing the same thing, and he's a billionaire. You know, just you know what I mean? Basically what he's saying is that guy has made his money on weapons. We're just doing the same thing.
So wait, this ties into Iron Man?
This ties into everything, dude. Where have you been for the last 14 years?
I didn't know, man.
So every Marvel movie ties together with the other Marvel movies.
Oh, okay. So that's why you like those so much.
This is an entire universe that connects. It's amazing.
Okay.
And, but anyway, so that's what they did with Spider-Man, and they did the same thing with this one, where you could look at the, you know, there's really two villains in the movie. There's this guy that's called Ulysses Claw, and he's just like an arms dealer.
Okay. Ulysses Claw.
Yeah,
what a great fucking comic book
name. It's a very comic book name.
Yeah.
And you know, he's an arms dealer and acts like you would expect like a South American arms dealer to act. Like he just kills people at will and is just kind of a psychopath.
Okay.
But then like the main villain is this guy who his name's Killmonger. But he was brought up in like the streets of L.A. And kind of he had to go through military special forces and had to like make his way. And turns out he was the son of the king of Wakanda. Wakanda being this place in Africa.
Okay.
And so he has a right to the throne. And like he spent all kinds of time trying to get back to that. But his motivations are Wakanda has. What is that? Pause 1 second. 20 minutes later. And we're back. As usual, the phone rang during our podcast.
It never fails.
As usual. Oh, wait, you've got another. Where are these coming from, man? You've got these, like, tentacles growing out of you.
Turns out I live in a house with one woman and 3 young women. Yeah, so there's 4 women's hair all over me at any given time.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But anyway, the motivations of the villain in this movie are like, hey, we live in Wakanda. It has all this amazing, and just for your own background, it has like hyper advanced technology because of a comet that hit them, you know, in dinosaur times or whatever. You know, like they have all this hyper advanced technology.
Okay.
And he's like, we need to get this out to the rest of the world. And we need, and he had specific reasons. Basically, he wanted like kind of a dictatorship, like we give this to the world, and they kind of do what we say, and we're in charge of everything now, instead of America being in charge or whatever.
Okay.
You know, so, you know, and like, it made sense. You know, like okay, I can see how you feel like, you know, why are you holding yourselves back or whatever, and you know, and letting like the rest of the world shit on you, because from the rest of the world's perspective, Wakanda was a third world nation. Like they had the ability to literally put a cloak over top of their entire country that made it look like it's just like a rainforest and farms.
Okay.
And when in reality it is this giant like massive metropolis with like hover bikes and you know, like when I say it was advanced technology, I mean it's like way advanced.
Okay.
So anyway, you know, and then the movie is about Black Panther, who is the king of Wakanda.
I'm gonna watch this tonight.
Yeah, I highly recommend you do. But anyway, it's really good. It's about him and the struggle with this other guy, and you know, struggle to kind of be the king of Wakanda after his father died, and you know the things that they go through together. But it's really, really good.
Wow.
It represents, you know, it's good to have representation out there, you know, of an entire population that usually doesn't get any representation. You know, like there's whole movies without one black person in them.
Oh yeah.
When it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like you realize black people exist in that town, right?
Yeah, right.
Like, you know, but there's you don't see whole movies usually without white people in them. And even in this one, there's two white guys. One is Claw, and the other one is the CIA guy.
Okay.
But they both make sense in the context of the movie, and neither of them are really a focal point. They're kind of actually side
Just
characters
after
at best.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they kind of, anyway. But yeah, it's a really good movie. And then, the funny thing about it that I really wanted to talk about was, like, getting back to the African and black representation. Like, I've heard people say, oh, well, you had Blade. And it's like, you realize, like, that makes sense to maybe you and me, but we're 38 years old.
Yeah.
If you're a 12-year-old kid, Blade happened before you were even born. Like, what are you talking about? That's like looking at you and I and saying, man, I wish there was more, I don't know, American war representation. And people are like, oh, there's all kinds of World War II movies. It's like, dude, World War II did not happen when I was alive. Like, I get
when did Blade come out? The 90s?
Yeah, the late 90s.
I mean, come on. That was 20 years ago.
I was still in school, I think. So, like, that's such a lame thing to say and just kind of blatantly racist.
It makes me happy that it's an African-American themed movie and it doesn't involve gangs. It doesn't involve drugs. It's just an actual movie. Yeah. Just to go have a good time.
And for lack of a better way to put it, he is like Captain America of Wakanda. Like, he's got kind of that same type of power set. Plus, he's got a really cool suit that's like bulletproof and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, but like he's super strong.
Nice.
Like, but anyway, yeah, I highly recommend you see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Really good.
It sounds fun.
And like, in the scheme of things, and I know this doesn't mean much to you, considering you didn't even realize they're all connected.
I did not.
To date, the best Marvel movie has been a movie called Captain America 2: Winter Soldier.
Okay.
And I still think it's the best, especially in terms of how it connects and has context to the greater Marvel universe. But as a standalone movie, I feel like this is a better standalone movie.
I've actually seen this online. The big banter back and forth. Which one is better? Which is better?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's better than Winter Soldier, but it's definitely in the top 3 or 4 Marvel movies.
It's a bold statement from you.
Yeah.
You've seen, what, 150?
Yeah, but, like, I mean, to me, Winter Soldier's probably first. Ant-Man's last. And
Ant-Man is last.
Yeah, it's terrible. I fell asleep during Ant-Man.
Really?
You need to skip a Marvel movie. It's Ant-Man. Don't watch it. It's worthless.
I'll take your word for it.
But
so let me ask you this for the people out there and myself
for
included.
The peeps.
Let's say hypothetically you never watched any of these movies. What movie would you recommend them starting with if they wanted to just go deep into the Marvel universe? What point would you start?
Oh, you can't pick one. If they want to get deep into the Marvel universe, they need to start at Iron Man.
Okay.
Because that was the first one.
Okay, so that was number 1.
Technically, The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton was the first one, but you could skip that.
Okay.
You can not see it and still be okay.
Okay.
You need to go Iron Man, Iron Man 2.
Okay.
Captain America. I mean, you need to kind of see them all.
I've actually seen Iron Man, so I already got number 1 done.
Yeah, and you remember at the end how like that guy kept trying to recruit him to S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I believe so.
Yeah, that all transpired and created the Avengers and like...
Oh, so the Avengers and all that are all part of the same...
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing because it's been going on for like, 14, 15 years now.
I'm kind of getting why you like it.
No other movie franchises have made that happen.
Maybe Star Wars.
I would argue that they had not done it as well.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it all ties in.
That's a bold statement.
But Star Wars is Star Wars because it was extremely, well, that's not even true. It was relatively original at the time that it was done, right? You had three movies that connected. They were all pretty good. And the special effects at that time were amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I would say that these movies come together as a coherent story way better than Star Wars, if you count all the Star Wars that exist now.
Okay.
And there's way more of them. There's like 22 movies.
Okay.
So.
Well, I was more referring to their own universe and their own
set
of laws and you know like not laws but like physics and you know what I mean, abilities of the creatures and
you could say that, but if you look at Star Wars, you have to. And you're comparing it to the Marvel universe, and this is getting really geeky. You have to compare movies to movies.
Okay. Because
there's just as much Marvel comic book lore out there as there is Star Wars lore. I would argue even more, probably.
It's probably,
If you count all the comic books.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and in fact, Marvel actually created some of those Star Wars lore because they used to own the rights to the comic books.
Did they really?
Yeah, they made some of them.
Nice. I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to get. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna try. I can't promise anything, but
Anyway, Black Panther. See it.
yeah, got me. You know where you got me when you was talking about the cloak over their entire country. I was like, man, that sounds cool. I can
Yeah,
see that.
it's really cool.
That's where you got me. All right.
So, what are we talking about?
Fear of promotion.
Fear of promotion.
That
What's
was
that mean? I don't even understand what this means.
You really don't?
No.
You've never been nervous about getting promoted?
Nah, explain it to me.
So I think the best way to describe it is you wonder if you're good enough. Do I have the skills necessary?
No, I mean, don't you just tap out everybody who's the same rank as you?
No.
And below?
No.
No?
No, it doesn't work like that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm 38, man.
Huh. I mean, that's what worked for me.
You just tapped everybody?
Everybody.
Hmm.
I found every blue belt on earth and tapped them all
Nice job.
before I became a purple belt.
Did you know Daniel trains here?
Daniel?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he wasn't a blue belt at the time.
Okay, well, he's a purple belt
He didn't
now.
even train at the
so
time.
we'll be the same rank.
Yeah.
Because he's been injured. So he and I will be the same rank. Do you think I'm beating Daniel?
You probably beat his ass. But he's a higher ranking than you. He's a higher purple belt, so I'm going to expect
Well, I don't think, because he's been...
No, I'm just trolling.
I know you are, but I'm just pointing out some facts here.
I guess what I'm trying to do is point out the absurdity
Okay.
of what people think. Like, I don't understand what you expect from yourself. Like, there's no such thing as a true world champion. Like, even the world champions have not beat every blue belt. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm a blue belt world champion, I've not beat every blue belt on the planet.
No, I just beat the set that was there.
Yeah,
that
I beat
day.
whoever was there. And don't get me wrong, I'm not taking any away
No.
away from their skill.
No.
They're very good. But to expect yourself to live up to any level of I can beat this person or that person at that rank is just silly.
Yeah.
You need to, and jiu-jitsu is hard, and we've talked about this before, because
It is
there is
hard.
no set, quote, standard. The standard is you can hang. Like, I would expect, so you're going to be a purple belt, so I would expect you to be able to hang with purple belts.
Yeah.
But, I mean, as a 4-stripe blue belt on, Saturday at 9 a.m., walking out as a 0-stripe purple belt at Saturday at 4 p.m. or whatever, what change do I expect? Absolutely none.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So you shouldn't magically be able to beat the people that you couldn't beat 30 seconds ago.
Fair enough.
Before I went and tied it on. So I don't understand the need to be nervous about it.
I mean, I don't know, but it's very real.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I can tell you it's very real.
And
I know I'm not the only person that goes through this. I've heard many people say this.
yeah, and here's what's funny is that you don't get that in any other martial art.
No?
And I'll tell you why.
Why?
There's a standard in every other martial art.
You got to be able to do this set of things.
Yep. There's a curriculum.
It's like passing
And so-
like a regular test.
Yeah, and that's a part of why I believe in a curriculum. And although don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that I feel like if you know these 20 moves, you're a purple belt, right? Or however many.
Yeah.
In Pedro Sauer, there's 88 white to blue, 88 blue to purple. But that's not all you know. You need to apply them. You need to be able to use them as well.
Yeah.
Or at least have a game plan that is yours, uniquely yours. Like, if I said, hey, what's a move that you have a few setups for that you hit regularly on, live, going live in classes, what would that be?
I know you would think I'm going to say triangle, but lately, man, it's been an arm bar.
Okay,
I've
arm
been
bar.
killing arm bars lately.
So you've been hitting lots of arm bars, and if I said, hey, show me a setup for an arm bar, you have one. If I said, show me another one, you probably have another one. Show me 5-6 different ways you get to that arm bar, you probably have that.
I do.
Right? And you use them regularly, and you hit it regularly. And that's really more what it's about. And the natural progression is that you're going to be good. You're going to get better.
Yeah.
Because you're still training.
Yeah.
You're continuously training. But in like karate, for example, you had to know kata 1 for this belt, kata 2 for that belt, kata 3 for that belt. And maybe it's kata 1 plus these 5 techniques plus a couple one-step sparring moves. But like there was never this, you should be able to beat, as a black belt, you should be able to beat a brown belt. Like that was never on there. And I don't think it should be.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got white belts here that I feel that would give the vast majority of blue belts, all they can
I
handle.
mean, a great example is like, we have several. You mentioned Daniel, and I don't like mentioning names on the podcast, but
that's why I use his first name.
We have high level wrestlers here.
Yeah, very high.
We had
level.
one call the tournament ahead of time and say, "Hey, I was a D1 wrestler in the heavyweight division. Should I compete at white belt or blue belt?" Because I told him, I said, you really should compete at blue belt. It wasn't IBJJF. It wasn't like that.
It was just
a
a local.
certification.
It
It
was
was
a
a local tournament.
Yep.
And they're like, "Oh no, just compete in white belt." And it was, he exactly what you would expect to happen happened.
Yeah.
He tossed everybody and just absolutely murdered them. Just put the pressure down and just choked every single one of them. It wasn't even close in any match. And so when you're looking at belts and ranks and skill, that guy's been on the mat since 4 years of college, 4 years of high school. At the very least, that's 8 years on the mat, and probably clear back into grade school.
Yeah.
He's maybe been on the mat for 16 years.
Yeah.
He's a white belt.
Yep.
Because he doesn't know the techniques and stuff of jiu-jitsu necessarily. But
grappling skill.
Yeah, in grappling, pure just grappling, he's much higher than a white belt.
Yeah.
He doesn't know the submission, so I can still trick him into things now.
Yeah.
That won't last.
I was going to say, how long is that going to last?
But you're always going to have that. You're always going to have those people who can just come in and dominate.
And frankly, I think the point you made is the one that's truest for me about there not being a curriculum. Because never in my life have I ever been nervous for a test when I knew that these are the things I need to know.
Well, you know that there's 88 moves from white to blue, from blue to purple. So know those and know what it is you do. Because that's how it is. I just look at you and say, "Show me your game. Let me see your game from the guard. I want to see your 10, 15, 20 best things that you do. Let me see your game from side control. You get there, what do you do? Let me see a few flows. What do you do when they try to stop this move?" And okay. It's to me it's that easy, and that's really what it is are you on a path of progression that makes sense? Because that's really my job as a jiu-jitsu instructor. I think, and this is why I don't like to use the term coach very often, because to me, coach will teach you a set of skills, but not necessarily take you on a journey. Like, as a coach, my job's to have you win.
Yes.
Right? And so what happens a lot of times you get these guys who are really good at tournaments at a subset of moves, quite often triangle choke.
Really?
Because you get a lot of guys who are really flexible, and a lot of times it's the triangle choke that they're really good at. And they get a lot of triangle chokes. So they win at white belt, getting a lot of triangle chokes. And then they win at blue belt, getting a lot of triangle chokes. And then they start winning at purple belt, getting a lot of triangle chokes. And they're like hyper-focused on these one or two moves that they're really good at. By the time they get to black belt in competition, they aren't doing it anymore. They're not winning anymore, and they're not able to push past that because they stayed so limited on their vision of triangle choke that once they got into the brown belt or black belt level where guys have triangle choke and arm bar and like this whole big sphere, and they've only paid attention to this narrow little path and because they wanted to win, that they weren't good enough to compensate for that. And everybody has good moves. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the best and the best, you start looking at it, and it's like, certain guys are known for things, and then you're like, you start looking at what they've won with, and you're like, man, this guy's won with like a lot of different things. And it's not because, and I get like the whole jack of all trades thing. You don't really, but like, it's not the way jiu-jitsu is. Jiu-jitsu is just human movement, so people just fall into positions.
It just happens.
Yeah, and so, I guess where I'm going with that is that my job as an instructor, teaching you the art of jiu-jitsu, is to make sure that you don't get hyper-focused, and that you keep building your jiu-jitsu so that it is broad and deep, and you have a lot to draw from. And then you can always get hyper-focused later, right?
Yeah.
As a brown belt, a black belt, you can say, you know what, now I'm going to spend a whole year just drilling my back takes, taking someone's back, and I mean like really owning it. And now I'm going to spend an entire year just working the rear naked choke and really owning it, or maybe even 2 years. Because by that time, 2 years investment isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
When you've been training for 20 years, you say, okay, well, I'm going to spend 2 of that for just working chokes from the back. And then
You're actually making me feel a lot better. Because I was concerned because I did hyper-focus on the triangle for a better part of a year. And I was worried that moving away from that was the wrong decision. But hearing what you're saying is actually making me feel better about that.
No, you need to move away from it.
Yeah.
It's going to stop working. Like, and this is funny because I do it on purpose. But like when I roll you guys, I don't let you get your best moves on me.
Yeah.
And it's not because I want to show you that I can shut down your best move. It's because I want you to realize that you need more. Not more moves necessarily, because there's only a handful of moves. Everything else is just a transition into it.
Yeah.
But I want you to realize that you need to do more and be more exacting, and just like one thing isn't going to get you there. You're going to have to threaten me with your triangle and your cross choke and your arm bar if you're hoping to get me in that triangle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just how it works. And so I don't know. We're kind of getting off the subject a little bit.
I don't think you are. I think you're hitting a lot of, at least for me personally.
Yeah.
Sorry if this isn't helping you guys, but this is helping me out greatly. These are a lot of the thoughts that I've been dealing with.
Okay. And I mean, yes, you're going to be able to hang as a blue belt, right? You're going to be able to beat many other blue belts, but not all of them.
No, most of them.
Good amount. But I mean, we have some tough kids here, some tough guys. And every school does. You know, I'm not assuming that we're the only ones that have tough people.
No, not at all.
You know, every jiu-jitsu school I've been to has that blue belt that can beat purple belts and brown belts. Every jiu-jitsu school I've been to has that guy who's way over the hill, and you know, everybody loves him and they're glad he's there, and he could get promoted all day, every day, and everybody be like, sweet, good for him. Every jiu-jitsu school I've been to has the standard. Like if you're not able to at least hang, you're not going to get promoted, right? Especially like if you're a young, capable human being.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, so they all have these tough guys, and that's why I say don't worry about it. Like, I don't know anybody who's beat everybody. So until that person exists, there is no specific standard other than the one that when I say you're ready, you're ready. You know, that's just how it works, and you just have to have faith.
Yeah.
You have to have faith that your coach is taking you down the right path. And then whatever your metric is, you know, sometimes you need to look at a different metric, or, you know, like, for example, if your metric is just winning tournaments, I would argue that at the white belt, blue belt, purple belt level, winning tournaments is not that significant. Like, if you're worried about becoming a world champion.
Okay.
There's plenty of guys out there who didn't do, I mean, I'm not saying that they were getting murdered every time, but they didn't do as well as they could have, and they learned from all those experiences. And then as brown belts and black belts, they started coming on and doing really well. And there's just as many. The Meow brothers, for example, who dominated at the early levels.
All the way through.
Yeah, you know, it happens. That happens too. Just
I
depends
think
on
honestly, for me, it's not really a fear of not being able to. It's the fear of letting people down, letting you down, letting little Edward down, letting the girls down, letting myself down. Do you know what I mean? Like,
But how?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
So this is your journey.
Sometimes
everybody else is superfluous.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? It's not.
Nope.
It's not necessarily a logical thought.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying that, you know, sometimes emotions are not logical.
Yeah, I'll give
They're
you
not
that.
based in reality. They're not based in facts. They're just how you feel.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that's what I've been struggling with personally. It's the fear of letting the people I teach down. You know what I mean? Just
And I always come back to that and say, in what way are you going to let them down?
I don't know.
The only way, like, you let me down is by quitting. I'm 100% honest with that. Those are the people who let me down. Like, you're not going to let me down on the mat. It's not going to happen. And we had one of our younger competitors who took second place in the tournament, by the way, write me a text the next day after that tournament, and it said something like, hey, I'm so sorry. I know I could have beat that guy. I've beaten him before, and I just made a mistake, and he capitalized on it, and I feel really bad about it. And, you know, I wrote him back. I'm like, dude, you never, ever, ever have to apologize to me for something like that. You know, if you're taking it hard, that's fine. I'm glad you care. You know, but, like, you never have to apologize to me for, you know, messing up at a tournament or not knowing the right thing or whatever. And in fact, like, I feel bad. I probably take it harder than anybody else because I know what it feels like to get beat like that. You know what I mean? Like, I remember being at the Nationals and losing just because someone was better than me.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to face that and realize, shit, I'm simply not good enough. You know what I mean? Like that's hard. That's a hard thing to take. Not like, oh, you know, I need to fix this or fix that. It's like, no, that guy is at a level of athletics that I am at least currently not at, and in my opinion, opinions vary, don't have the ability to get to. You know, like this guy was a professional athlete.
Yeah.
And dominated.
Good luck, dude.
You know, and I'll never forget that and
Yeah.
what that felt like. Because he was a big guy. We were in the heavyweight division. This was in sport jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
Sport jiu-jitsu meaning there was punching and kicking as well. So he was this big guy, and I drew him up in the first round. And I remember my coach looking at me going, well, he's big. He's a lot bigger than you. And at the time, I was only like 220.
Okay.
Only 220. And I was... This was right out, like I had just come back from Iraq. I was as strong as I'd ever been. I was in great shape.
You were peaking.
And this guy, he was 260 if he was a pound. And he came at me so fast.
Yeah.
His speed was like nothing I had experienced. And I'd fought some really tough dudes. And he's coming at me, foo, 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 and I'm like, whoa, you know, and like he hit me real quick, took me down. He kind of beat me real quick in the first round. And it was double elimination. And I was like, what the hell? And I go out, and my coach is he's just sitting back like this, and he goes, huh, I wouldn't expect him to be that fast, huh? And I was like, holy crap, dude.
He's like, you're like, what the hell
I just went through a cement mixer. And so this is funny. My only validation to this was that, so now I'm in the loser's bracket.
Yeah.
And this guy's just throwing people at me because he's no one's even touching him. And so I'm having to come up through this entire loser's bracket. I had to fight 4 more fights. And I'm doing really well in the loser's bracket. I come back up. Now we're fighting for first and second, right? And actually, there would have had to been 2 more fights if I won that one.
Okay.
Because then we're tied.
Yeah, so you got to beat
yeah, and that's the way they worked it. Like a lot of times, like on double elim, like once you get back to the, like it's just
winner takes all.
Yeah, but they didn't do that in this one, and I know a little more what to expect now. And I'm like, okay, I just don't want this guy to get a hold of me because he was like so strong and his judo was so good. And so I'm tagging him. I'm scoring all these points there, standing, you know, just trying to like just beat the hell out of him and not get thrown. Because in this one, like you didn't have to submit. You could throw and pin, and that would, like if you just pinned him like judo style.
Okay.
That counted too.
Okay.
You know, so and you needed to get like clean shots in every point. And he was good enough to get some clean shots on me standing, which not a lot of people were. I don't know why. I'm not amazing at it or anything, but just the way it was.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people could get me. So
give yourself some credit.
So he got me standing, and I was like, crap. You know, like, he got me with a couple really good shots, and I was like, man, he's got some. You know, he's
got power to go with that speed too.
Yeah, and more. You know, from a strategic standpoint, I'm like, okay, I know I can't throw this guy.
Yeah.
Like I knew I didn't have it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, so I can't let him throw me because I think if he throws me, he'll throw me straight to a pin and I'll be in trouble. And I managed to take that one into the second round. There were 2 2-minute rounds. So I took that one into the second round, and at near the end of the second round, he managed to get a throw on me and took me out. Threw me and pinned me. Osaikomi is what they call that. So he won the fight, and like I'll never forget it because like. And it turns out, like, so this is the other part of it. I'm like, man, where did you train? And he told me, I'm like, man, you're so fast. And he goes, well, you know, after I got done with college and football and stuff, I wanted to keep doing stuff. He goes, and I didn't make it on the Packers. So I said, what? He goes, oh yeah, I played for Michigan.
Yeah.
He goes, I was a D end. He was a defensive end.
Nice. Big, strong, fast human beings.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Like and like he tried, like that's like he didn't make it on the Packers. So, but like I realized right then, I was like, I don't think I could get this guy.
You think it's harder for you to deal with a loss when you're just physically incapable of it versus when it was a mistake?
I just think it always hits you in the Yes, I do.
Really?
Yeah, because I've had that happen too. Like more in jiu-jitsu tournaments. Like after that, I kind of stopped competing, and quite honestly, I've lost I have no desire to win really anymore. Like I will win because that's the result of what happens when you do things right.
I would argue that's more because you've made the choice to put all of our jiu-jitsu at the forefront.
That
You know what I mean?
happens
Because
too.
you moved to instructor more than competitor, so now you're responsible for
Yeah,
200.
but to be honest with you, even like I won a few tournaments, but even like just once I started doing jiu-jitsu and everything, it calmed me down so much.
there is that
That
as well.
I just didn't care anymore.
I know what you mean.
And so I've lost a lot in jiu-jitsu tournaments, Brazilian jiu-jitsu tournaments, because of a mistake I made. Versus, and I'm not taking anything away from the opponent. They get 50% of that, right? Because they knew how to capitalize.
Yeah,
on
they
the
took
mistake.
your mistake and whoop.
Yep, you know, so give them that. But
Yeah.
I've lost way more in those tournaments because of a mistake I made versus them just being better. And I was always able to look back on that and learn from that.
Yeah.
But when I looked back on this guy, and I'm not saying that I couldn't have done something better,
I understand what you're saying.
but
Totally.
like as I watched back the videos and stuff like that, I was like, man, I think this guy was just better than me. He
Yeah.
was way faster. He was way stronger. The amount of work I would have to put in at 26 years old versus his, was going to be a whole lot.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would have.
I find that fascinating because for me, in my opinion, it's the exact opposite for me. If there's nothing I could have done better, it's not really hard for me to stomach. You know what I mean? Whereas when it's something I personally did, that was always harder for me to take.
So you like to talk about the monkey brain in you a lot?
Yeah.
So think about it this way: I'm the silverback, and then a bigger silverback.
Just
comes along.
silverbacked. You took your.
He just silverbacked me. You know what I mean? Like shit. In caveman days, this guy would have taken my wife.
Yeah, he just.
You know what I mean?
He just took
dragged
my
her out by
cave.
there and taken
He
her.
took my mammoth carcass and my wife.
Yeah. So like, and I think that hits the ego for me a lot more.
That makes sense. I don't think I ever thought about it from that aspect. Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Hey, hit us up on Twitter, by the way. Nobody ever tweets me.
Yeah.
Maybe because I never tweet anything.
Yeah, that's probably.
I never know what to say.
It turns out, man, if you don't say like really controversial things, it just doesn't catch on. If you have like a nuanced, balanced opinion on something, people are like, oh.
Chadwick Boseman is an all right guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy who played Black Panther.
Okay.
That's why that popped into my head.
He's okay. He seems like a normal guy.
Like, I don't know what.
That's
maybe
not-
that's what I'm going to do is just change my Twitter handle to ultra middle of the road.
I was going to say down the middle, Ed.
Yeah,
And
down the middle Bill.
Yep.
and just like it's always just these.
Yeah, if you don't take like a bold stance on something, it just doesn't catch on.
Yeah.
That's.
The recent changes in Cuyahoga Falls are pretty cool, but I can understand why some of you would be against them.
That doesn't catch on. It just doesn't catch it.
People are like, what?
What?
Pick one or the other.
Yeah, you got to join a tribe.
Yeah.
You can't just. That's what it really is, man. You got to pick a team. You got to pick a team. Yeah,
Oh, man. So, you ever listen to any folk songs?
I have not.
I like a folk singer named Todd Snyder, and he's got this. I forget which song it even is, but anyway, he's in between sets. It's one of his live albums, and he's like, Republicans. That's what scares me these days. And you hear like the crowd just go fucking crazy. They're like, yeah, and he does that, and
Democrats. Yeah.
you hear the other half of the crowd go, yeah, like that'd be me.
That's me. Yeah.
Republicans really scare me, just about as much as those Democrats.
Yep, that's me too. Yeah.
We're all fucking crazy. Get over
Yeah.
it, man. Yeah, but anyway, I guess that's my take on it. Don't be afraid of getting promoted.
Yeah.
Like, trust your instructor. They know what they're doing. They've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
They're not going to put you in a position that you don't deserve to be in.
That makes sense.
That's the way I see it. Like, and I will say this: that there's a target when you get promoted. It is a little bit of a target. People who weren't. So you'll put on that purple belt, and there will be blue belts at a certain level that will come at you harder.
Yeah.
Because they want to know. They want to know what the difference is. And expect that to happen.
Yeah.
It happened to me when I earned my black belt. Yeah. Oh my God, brown belts came out of the woodwork trying to murder me.
I believe that.
And like some of them, like they're just like, oh yeah, I just want to visit your academy and see what's going on. Oh, okay, yeah, come on over. And then this guy tries to murder me. Now there are other ones who were super nice. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't everybody, but everybody wants a piece of the black belt. Everybody wants to know what that means, and it's like unfortunately, you have to be prepared to do that in most cases. And there were some cases where I wasn't, and then, came back later, and like they maybe said a thing or two here or there, and they came back later, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to have to murder this person now.
Yeah.
And so I did, and then earned their respect. And then now I can, some of these people, I can just roll with them normal.
Yeah.
And we can just have fun and just do jiu-jitsu as opposed to it being a death match. But, it's just the nature of the game, man.
Yeah, I don't mind the death matches. I'm not really worried about that. I mean, I'll be sore.
Then that should tell you you're fine.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you're not worried about someone trying to test themselves or prove themselves against you, you're probably fine.
Nah, it's never that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more, like I said, it's more the fear of letting people down.
Yeah, there's nobody to let down. Literally, nobody.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to, you don't compete a lot anyway, so it's not like you're going to let down your family by competing, or, you know what I mean? Or,
yeah, I know, man.
Or losing, or whatever.
Again, like I said, you can...
Now, don't get me wrong, if you mess up any move ever, we are going to hate you.
Yes, trust me, that's already the case. That's already true. So I'm used to that.
So anyway, I mean, that's my opinion on promotions and fear of it. I mean, do you have any other thoughts on it?
No, like I said, I think you hit it out of the park with the curriculum thing.
Okay.
Because I've never feared a test. Whether it's educational, whatever the test is, if I know what I'm being tested on, never been worried about it at all. I just prepare well, I'm ready to go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this, I don't know what's going to happen that day. I don't.
How long have you been training again? 6 years?
5.
5?
Yeah.
So you've been preparing for 5 years.
Yeah.
How many tests have you ever taken that you prepared for 5 years?
Good point. Very few.
Just wondering.
Very few.
Just wondering.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's my thoughts.
Okay.
So, Ed, listen, if people want to get a hold of us and give us their opinions, how can they do that?
Facebook, Black Belt Tips on Facebook, blackbelttips@gmail.com, also on the Twitters.
The Twitters?
And we also have the Black Belt...
what are you on Twitter?
Eddie Jiu-Jitsu 33.
I think it's at Eddie Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, sorry.
You always forget the at.
The at symbol.
Yeah.
And then you are at Top Level GJJ.
Top Level GJJ.
Oh, no, I almost forgot.
You
BlackBeltTips.com.
have to say it like that.
Yeah.
Like real douchey. Like I
Yeah?
did. Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you handle that aspect of this. And then also the website, blackbelttips.com.
Blackbelttips.com. I like it. It's actually more of a blog site than anything else.
Okay.
But it has some interesting things. Something I put up on there recently was we thought about talking about it here, but we, didn't know if it was the right demographic for that. But talked about the most difficult belt in jiu-jitsu.
Oh.
And for anybody who's wondering, I think it's the yellow belt.
I was going to say it's yellow and blue for me.
Yeah.
Yellow and
I think
blue.
way more so than the blue belt.
You think so?
Spend a lot more time in the yellow belt group than you do in the blue belt.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Never thought of it.
It's like 3 years.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe it's about the same.
About the same, but yeah.
But anyway, that's all I have for you.
That's
and
all
you
I
have
got
anything
too.
for us?
Yeah.
Listen, guys, thanks for watching. Guys, give us your opinion on things. Do you like the new background? Do you not? Trying some things with lighting that are a little bit different. Anyway, we appreciate your time and watching, and we are out.